tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Trudging. Let's just keep on trudging. Rawhide. Shoot 'em up, knock 'em down, beat 'em up. Oh, in other words. Right. I used to know all the words to Animaniacs. We're Animaniacs. We're loony to the max. Yeah. That's it. If it was playing, I could probably do it. Good old therapy. This is my... Yeah, I usually go live after my therapy. I seem to be the most lighthearted at that point. It's a good time to go live. I usually have some pretty good recordings. Yeah, I was amazed at all the things that I've gotten done this week. It was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Maybe I haven't hit the hard parts of what I'm doing yet. I can't even explain to you what I'm doing. Although I'm going to be putting a workbook out. Not sure when it will be out. It's called the four A's to solving problems. Yeah. It's going to be a workbook. I'll be giving that out for free, and that'll lead you to the paid stuff. I'm just going to tell you know me. And if you think I'm going to hide that, I'm not. I'm going to say, this is free. Some of my other stuff got to, But what I still do here, the Daily Trudge, the podcasting, when it is people telling their stories, that'll always be free. I do this part because I really enjoy doing it. That's why I do it. So, but it's good to challenge yourself. Let me go over to chat here real quick, make sure. So I have the chat overlay on. So, because because what happens is then I download the video and I turn it into these clips, and some of the names from the people in chat are popping up, and I don't want to blow your anonymity. It's not, if people want to come to, I can't, if you're here, there's a chance of that. But if I start to put it out, I don't have your permission to do that. And I got to think of that. I'm not big on, let's say I saw somebody else's, stuff. All right. So, Michelle, what I would do is after we're done, restart your device. That's what I would suggest. If we get to the meeting and it's still messing up, we will figure it out. So don't fret too much about it. You got plenty of backup in that meeting. So. And I got your back. So don't fret too much about it, but restart your device. That usually helps. So, all right. Today we're going to be talking about advocating, how to advocate in recovery. Fine, you don't need to have a bunch of eloquence. You don't necessarily even need to be well-spoken as much as you need to find out the facts before you do something. There are two parts when it comes to helping people in recovery. One is experience, which a lot of us use, is one of the best ways to help somebody out by sharing your experience, strength, and hope. And then there's the clinical side. There's education. And I find that people in this field either have the experience or the education, but they don't have both, right? You don't need to do a ton of education, but maybe, looking up some clinical things, how things kind of work. A lot of what I talk about here is even though I'm talking AA and recovery, and I utilize my experience, a lot of this is clinical. But if I get beyond my own education in that, then I will let you know that it's an educated guess. All right. So, welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Yep. If you're here, please say hello. Say hello, Dion. What you got going on, my boy? I was talking with my therapist, and she started yawning. She's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I was okay, but I'm a little tired now." She has narcolepsy, and I said, she's like, "Oh, it's just my narcolepsy." And I said, "What's wrong? Yeah, you got a wee bit of narcolepsy there, do we now?" We went off like that for like 5 minutes. We didn't do any real therapy stuff today. I just caught her up on some of the stuff, and she's become more like a friend than a therapist. And that's okay. We still get to stuff. She has helped me out immensely. So, all right, things you can do to advocate for those in recovery. Advocacy for individuals in recovery plays a critical role in fostering supportive environments. Ooh, such eloquent words. So eloquent here. All right, Claire. Claire says, "Hello, Dion. What's going down in your side of town?" Lots of hope. I'm dealing hope today. From hope dealer to dope dealer, here's Dion. I never sold dope. Well, at one point, I had like a quarter pound of weed that I did sell to kind of bring in some more money. I was so fucking paranoid, I never did it again. All right. So, fostering supportive environments, ensuring access to necessary resources. Here are ways to advocate. Now, you've already got your experience, and that is the biggest part. Yeah. Now, there's some people that you can listen to that are pretty good. I'm going to tell you who to kind of stay away from when it comes to addiction, because they're Gabor Mate. Okay. Stay away from him. He just wants you to take his mushrooms. He's no. Mel Robbins. She got too big for her fucking britches, man. No. Jordan Peterson. I thought it was really good, but that man, no. So I stick with people that are not making large sums of money off of recovery. Those are the people I tend to avoid. Now, if those things are working for you, fucking use them. All right. But here's the thing. When it comes to education, I would not really rely on social media. Go do some digging. Where's a good place to educate yourself on the clinical portion? It would be Hazelden's a great place. They've got lots of information there. Lots of really good. The Mayo Clinic. The Mayo Clinic's a fantastic place to find that stuff out. Right? Oh, but Dion, they make a lot of money, but they're not individuals making a lot of money. It's when it's the individual. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's the best weapon? Somebody who has the experience and who is educated. Because, see, alcoholics start to make shit up. I'm going to give you an example. This guy and I kind of got into it. I let him win the fight, but I just let him, right? What is it they said? What's he calling it? He called it something. But anyway, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, the last one he said, frankly, I don't care of your opinion of me. I'm like, I never made an opinion, by the way. He's calling it chaos addiction. Okay. There's no such thing. Chaos addiction doesn't. That's like saying a functioning alcoholic. See, it doesn't exist. Right. So when we make things up, when you make something up like that so that you can create your own thing, you are not taking into account a lot of things. There's a lot of things you're not taking into account. So, that's kind of why I'm doing kind of what. But let's get into the better parts of these. I apologize. A little too much complaint in there. I apologize. So, learn about addiction and recovery. Understanding addiction is a disease. The various pathways to recovery and the challenges individuals face is crucial to effectively advocate for them. Okay. So in our case, well, gosh, we got the experience. We don't really need to learn. Yeah, we do. Or are we going to stay sober? What about the other people in the family that were affected? How much do you know about Al-Anon? How much do you know about ACA? How much do you know about Alateen? How much do you know about Celebrate Recovery Smart? Have you been to these? Have you checked them out? I've checked all of these out. Right. Doesn't mean I agreed with everything, but what it did is it helped me figure out what is best for each person so that what I needed was options. Right. Hey, Amber. Sup, Siski. She called me broski. So, and what did I say to you? Well, I always try it as an afternoon drive live. We have a lot of fun. Right. Ask questions. Yeah, pick up some books. There's a lot of great books out there. But in this case, knowledge is power again. And not the type of power that has not the wrong type of power. The type of power we're talking about is helping people understand the malady of their alcoholism or their addiction. Right? So it's always got to be based in fact. Now, your experience is fact. So that part you got covered. Right? Then it talks about the various pathways to recovery. This was huge 2 years ago. Oh, multiple pathways. I believe in multiple pathways to recovery. Did you know? Well, you don't believe in multiple pathways. Do you know how many times people I've heard that a lot accusing me, well, you don't support multiple pathways. And my response to that is, no, you're using multiple pathways incorrectly. The multiple pathways is not where you land, whether it's AA or Celebrate or church or, or some other made up program called Chaos Addiction or something. No, that is not the multiple pathways to recovery. There are about 5 or 6 pathways. Okay. The multiple pathways is how you get there, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, a family member, an intervention. Maybe you went to jail. Maybe you got a DUI. Those are the pathways to recovery. Notice it disappeared because it was being used incorrectly. They're again taking something that the information is incorrect and utilizing it to fit our own needs instead of sacrificing what it is that we think we know to get to the truth. Right? Share information and challenge misinformation. It's what I did with this guy, and I challenge misinformation all the time. Okay. Now, what am I doing? It's not really, I'm just going to admit it to you. You may think less of me because of this. But if it's somebody is full of shit, I'm going to poke you till you get mad online so people can see how you actually act. What I did with this guy, that's why I let him have the last say. I don't remember. I think the last thing was, I don't care what you think of me. I'm like, I didn't say anything about you. I said your program's bullshit. See, he didn't read what I said. He got defensive immediately. Well, if this is your program and you support it that much, why would you care what I thought about in the first fucking place? Because it's bullshit. Because it's a lie, because you made it up. Hey, Corey, good to see you. That was one of my favorite Canucks doing. It's good to have you. All right. Correct misconceptions about addiction. Combat stigma. No, wrong. Do not fight stigma. Don't do it. It isn't worth your time because all you do is get into a fight. You do not need to defend yourself on that. I have found, at least for me, Corey says, whose ass are we kicking? Oh, wait, we don't do that, LMAO. Thanks, Corey. Thanks for the reminder. Right. But combating stigma, no. I just saw somebody in their podcast called Fuck the Stigma. Why do you need what is going on that you need that? See, you can't fight stigma. You will lose every single time. It's like arguing with a 2-year-old. It ain't going to make any sense. And I don't need to convince somebody else. And there's stigma all over the place. You have stigma. I have stigma. I had stigma. Yeah. But now I catch it and do something about it. I do it a little different. But yeah, I still get caught up in some stigmas. I would have to admit that. The only way I can do it is by educating. That's the only way when it comes to stigma. But yelling at people about stigma is what? Stigma. It's stigma in and of itself. All right. And provide accurate facts about recovery to friends, family, and the broader community. All right. So with Community Reach Center, all right, been trying to send out the email. We opened up this meeting or started this meeting. It's a hybrid meeting, but it's mostly for the clients that go to Community Reach Center. That was the intention of the meeting. Well, not one has shown up, and it's been 3 months, right? So I had to light a little fire under. I'm like, hey, we're done. Now your client. Oh, well, let's try one more thing. Are you okay with that? Let's have you go to the staff meetings and explain what AA is and maybe get them excited. And I'm like, it was actually the first thing I ever suggested. But let them have the idea. Doesn't matter. The right thing is happening. Who takes credit it doesn't matter. So now, and this is just Community Reach Center, 7 different meetings that they want us to show up at. So what has happened now? Now I've created some service work. I'm not going to do all of those. There are people out there that's much better at doing that than I am. What I'm going to do is go with them and learn how they do it and educate myself. So that way, if I can't find another person, I can take care of it. There we go. All right. And that's the right way to work on the broader community. Adams County is going to be next. Aurora Mental Health is going to go through this. We're going to start educating these people, right? Because they want to, they're willing. And then what happens? Then they send more people to Alcoholics Anonymous. Now we have more sober people. Now we have a better community. We have a better area, right? Just by doing a few simple things. Organize and participate in awareness campaigns and community events. It says support initiatives like National Recovery Month. Yeah, there's we have an event going on, but there's no way that I would endorse it. There are some humps I won't go over, because even the event itself was stolen. There was paperwork forged to do it, and I know, right? Because I know who used to hold the contract with that. Her name was Joe Wright. She was my mother's sponsor. I know exactly what happened, guy. So, but let's say you go to one and support the ones that you think are doing well then. Just like we go to meetings and you take what you need and leave the rest, right? Kind of a thing. In this situation, I wouldn't be the best person. Sometimes I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. Right? And there are people there looking for help. So I'm very particular on who I align myself with. Very particular. I don't just start supporting something. No. We're going to get to know each other a little bit first, right? Support and empowerment. Provide a non-judgmental listening ear. Offer a safe space for individuals to share their experiences and feelings without fear or criticism. That's what I do. You know, it's even the podcasts turn out that way. It's non-judgmental while we're sitting there, right? But I do what I can to offer a safe space. Am I a safe space? I'd like to think that I am, but I'm also human and I might make a mistake. So you have to allow for a few things, but really only you could be your only safe space. But I can certainly provide a non-judgmental ear. Aside, who am I to judge you after all the bullshit I did? Vocalize your support and encouragement. Let individuals know that you are there for them and believe in their ability to recover. Encourage healthy habits. You know, and of course, this is healthy habits according to Waypoint Recovery Center. I have no idea who they are. Help individuals develop and maintain healthy habits, such as exercising, healthy eating, and stress reduction techniques. Now, that's very clinical, isn't it? This isn't. What about meetings? What about getting a sponsor? What about working the steps? Where's that stuff? But they want to use AA in the next one, celebrate milestones and progress. Yeah. Celebrate your progress. You know what celebrating it is? Go to a meeting, tell people you have your time, grab your chip, say great job, and then go help the next person. What you don't need to do is tell everybody about your progress every single day on how things are going on social media. No. Because I don't buy it. When I see people and it's always just positive stuff. It's like, well, did you edit the whole thing or what? Is your whole life on edit mode? What kind of person are you when the camera's not on you? That would be my question. You want to know how I act when the camera's not on me? Like I am right now. I don't act any different. Well, that's not true. I sing out loud a little bit more. But yeah, you earn that shit, man. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. It's awesome. Good for you. Be careful on day counting, though. Be careful day counting. Some people have a hard time. Right? I always get to 90 days. And when you sit there and say, I always get to 90 days, and then I relapse. And then you know what you're going to do when you hit 90 days? You're going to relapse because you keep telling yourself that. So stop counting the darn days. That'll help you out. That's what I had to do. Here's a hard one. Help navigate the system and resources. All right. One of the things that I'm working on in Colorado right now, what I'm tired of is that I have to hack through red tape in order to just help somebody out. And we need to end that. There should not be anything I need to overcome in order to help somebody out. That includes resources. All right? Right, well, right. So, assist individuals in finding appropriate resources, treatment programs, and support groups. There's the support groups. Good for them. Good. Glad they added it in. Good job. Advocate for their rights. Support individuals if they are treated unfairly or face discrimination due to their recovery journey. Yeah. You know, it's like talking behind somebody else's back. That's going to end with me. And I'm not going to tell you, if you come up to me and you're talking shit about somebody, not 10th stepping, that's something different. No, I'm not going to tell you anything personal because I'll be the next person you're talking crap about, right? So how are you going to advocate for rights in this situation? You know, I would think encouragement would probably be better than standing up to their bullies. Maybe. Kind of depends. You know, there have been times when I've been in meetings and there's a guy kind of hitting on other girls, and I will take that guy aside and I will talk to him. Right? And the people that got hit on, they don't need to know. They'll see me out there talking to them, going, don't you do that shit. Go hire a hooker, for God's sakes, dude. All right. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Support policies that improve access to quality treatment and recovery support services. Yeah, now we're getting into the governmental thing. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think that the government has any business in being in recovery services. None at all. We haven't needed them for 90 years. We don't need them now. Yeah. But there are certain things that you can do. Like, next thing is engage with policymakers and legislatures. Reach out to the people running your state, your senators, your committee people, your board of trust, these people, the professionals out there, COOs, talk to them, CEOs. Don't be afraid to reach out to people that are higher in rank. Okay. Like here this year on the ballot, it was supposed to be, but it got knocked off. We were supposed to vote on it this month. Of course, they're not reaching out to me because, right? The tax on alcohol in Colorado hasn't been raised since 1970. So we want to raise it so that we can put in some treatment centers. But with the way that the Colorado government has handled recovery services, I don't trust them. I don't. All right. Join advocacy organization coalition. Share personal stories with permission. Or you could just stick with your story. Important considerations. Practice ethical storytelling. Ensure informed consent when sharing personal stories and avoid sensationalism to respect the dignity of those in recovery. How about those places where all they do is post actors and actresses and famous people that that are in recovery? That's what they're doing. It is unethical to be posting other people's recovery stories. I would consider that unethical. I don't do it. Am I glad that Eminem's 17 years sober? Not any more than I am happy about the people in my own group being sober. In fact, I'm more proud of them. I don't know Eminem. Yeah. Stick to your stuff. But if you are going to tell somebody else's story or what they went through, get their permission first. Right? I'm putting out a book right now. There's a story in the beginning. It involves my mother. I had my mom read the story first to make sure she was okay with it. She's not really in the story at all. It just happened to be her birthday, right? Be mindful of language. Avoid using stigmatizing language like addict or opt for person with substance use. No. Do not take that advice. There is nothing wrong with the word alcoholic. There is nothing wrong with the word addict. They just want you speaking a certain language. No, be you. If you prefer substance use disorder and use first person like a person with substance use disorder, no. I was talking to Donna earlier. She doesn't like saying alcoholic and addict. Right? And that's her preference. That's fine. But when you start using AUD and SUD, then you're talking over other people's heads. And if they're alcoholic or addict and you make them feel stupid, they're going to hate you. Because, no, I'm on their level. Why do I get to say alcoholic? Because I am one. But I understand what she's saying. And I told her, I prefer alcoholic. I prefer hopeless drunk over substance use disorder. I really do. Right. So be very, very careful on that. Yeah, be mindful of your language. Don't talk over people's heads. Respect boundaries. Recognize that recovery is a personal journey and respect individual boundaries regarding the recovery process. Oh, but up here you said when they're full of shit, call them out. I'm just saying some things. All right. But yeah, do respect their boundaries. I would agree. Seek your own support. That should have been first. It's last. Advocating for others can be emotionally taxing, so remember to prioritize your own well-being and seek support when needed. Yeah, it can be very taxing because there's a lot of emotions in it. A lot. Most of them negative. By taking action in these areas, individuals can contribute to a more compassionate, supportive environment for those in recovery and break down the barriers that stand in the way of lasting sobriety. Okay, there's a few things wrong with that. Number one, I can't break down the barriers that stand in your way of lasting sobriety. Only you can do that, but I can tell you how I did it. See, this is where experience and education come in, where I can see where something isn't quite right. Because even in a clinical field, they wouldn't go for that. All right. But AI is still learning. How to become an advocate for addicts. Active members of a recovery community can act as outreach to places. Yeah. Maybe you can go work somewhere where you're an outreach coordinator or something. All right. So, what does a recovery advocate do? They provide individuals, families, and group with a philosophical support needed to cope with chronic, acute, and terminal illness. Actually, no, that's not quite what we do. No. Like recovery coaches. There's a lot of recovery coaches out there, right? Okay. When you get your recovery coach certificate of 60 hours, which they get done in a week, and it's not even quite 60 hours, and they really don't cover anything. What you're supposed to be doing is helping people with resources. That is it. They are not supposed to be doing anything else. All those people running around saying how they're a recovery coach and stuff. No, they are not. They are not staying in their lane. And that can lead to some very dangerous things. All right. All right. There's a meeting in 58 minutes for anybody that'd like to join us. Hope to see you there. Thank you all for being here. Corey, it was great seeing you again. Amber, Clara, Michelle, good to have you all. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.